Okay.
Some Republicans in recent days have been amplifying false claims about migrants eating pets and wildlife. Disinformation began spreading on social media over the weekend, fueled by a fourth-hand story that appeared to come from a Facebook group in Springfield, Ohio.
What's wrong with these people?
So
a
someone in this
fourth-hand
local
story on Facebook.
A random person in this local group posted their neighbor's daughter's friend had lost her cat, claiming Haitians use the pet for food. A screenshot of the Facebook post was shared on X Sunday by a conservative pundit, racking up 3 million views in 24 hours. The false claim then spread by other prominent supporters of Donald Trump, including Elon Musk.
This is why it was trending yesterday.
Elon Musk amplified
major
this,
news.
as he stated it as a matter of fact. Also, Senator Ted Cruz of
fantastic.
Texas and Republican Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio. This is congressional leadership amplifying this. And then Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, posted yesterday about Haitian immigrants, calling them illegal and echoing the false claims about pets being abducted and eaten. I'm not making this up. The Springfield, Ohio police said in a statement, there are no credible reports of Haitian immigrants harming pets. The city then posted a statement saying the Haitians are in the United States legally under a humanitarian program.
Members of the Trump family were tweeting this, like, look what's happening. You have to vote for Donald Trump. Swear to God.
Rev, to Joe's point earlier, this is the kind of stuff that not that long ago would sort of pop up in these dark, strange corners of the internet and be snuffed out, and just so the mouth breathers could talk about it among themselves. But now you've got Elon Musk, and it's risen to the top of the presidential ticket, and J.D. Vance amplifying something clearly made up. The Washington Post has a long piece debunking this, too. The photograph that they're using isn't even from Springfield. The person is not Haitian, on and on.
Well, and I think the danger of this is to allow us to continue to mainstream stuff that used to just be looked at as some craziness on the outside of any serious consideration of what's going on. And don't miss the racial angle here. Haitian immigrants.
Illegal.
And J.D. Vance particularly zeroing on Haitian immigrants. And I think that this goes to, you know, blacks are cannibals and we eat each other. I mean, it plays into all of that history of racism, which is part of what Donald Trump has appealed to since Charlottesville, since birtherism. When you hear Kamala Harris saying that's the old playbook, that's part of the old playbook of race. They, not just immigrants, it's Haitian immigrants eating your pets, eating your animals, because you know they're cannibals, and we can't miss that.
Yeah, I mean, the Rev can't be more right about this. It's about race. It's about other. It's about immigration. It's about all these scare tactics. And we've seen it in other Trump campaign, propaganda they've put out there where they suggested, like, this, do you want this America or this America? And they show a city, ravaged by crime, and all the faces in there are non-white.
Right.
Versus, like, the perfect idyllic suburban setting with white people. That is what the Trump campaign is leaning heavily on, as he, of course, faces a non-white opponent.
Yeah, and Joe, there used to be a floor or a barrier where certain people would not amplify something that was demonstrably untrue.
Right.
There used to be the world's richest or second or third richest man who's an important figure in our culture and our world wouldn't amplify this, and certainly a presidential ticket would not amplify it, but those days apparently are gone.
Long gone, and, Sam, again, as we've said, this happens every 2 years.
Right.
Just preposterous claims. Again, caravans always coming at election time. Donald Trump sending troops down to the border in 2018, thinking it was going to help him politically. It didn't. It just kept people in the military away from their families and away from their bases through Thanksgiving. But before it was leprosy, now they're talking about eating pets, and it's just all a lie. They're not, these people, as the town said, they're not illegal immigrants.
Right.
They're here legally.
So here's a few good important facts here. One is it's Springfield, Ohio. It's a town where we've seen an influx of Haitian migrants coming largely from the South because jobs are coming back to Springfield, Ohio. The industrial Midwest actually is prospering under Biden, and so all these people are coming into the small town. It's been disrupted to some social services for instance. Government officials are trying to figure out what to do with the school and policing. Second thing is, there was one cat-eating incident. It happened in Canton, Ohio, which is 130 miles away, not involving a Haitian immigrant. Now, the third thing, and this is the most pernicious thing, is anyone who spent time in Haiti, I have, anyone who spent time with Haitian Americans knows that this is a constant thing that shadows them. It's a racist trope about Haitians, which is they're witch doctors, they're primitives, they eat animals, they're dangerous. And the difference here, Joe, between past warnings about caravans, for instance, is that in that case, the people were not here already. In this case, the Haitian migrants are here. And so what J.D. Vance, Trump's campaign and others are doing is they're putting a spotlight on a community, a fairly vulnerable community in Ohio, and they're telling their supporters, look at these people. They're here and they're not only taking your jobs, they're taking your pets and they're eating them. And that, it's not very hard to see a few steps down the road where that leads to something pretty bad.
You know, the remarkable thing about America compared to Europe has always been the way that immigrants do get integrated into communities. What this incident makes me think of is a situation at the moment in France and Italy, where you have migrants living in kind of almost ghetto-type situations, where they have no contact with the community at all, where they are deliberately otherized and pushed out. And yet, economic study after economic study shows us that the reason that the United States has done so well compared to other European countries since COVID is because of the influx of migrants into the country. It's those Haitian immigrants who have helped the rejuvenation of Springfield, Ohio, by boosting the economic output of that area.
And Mika, this is just a follow-up on more anti-immigration nonsense that has been coming from the Trump right. We talked about it yesterday. You know, they're talking about how bad foreign-born workers are for America. We went down the list of the top industries, not only in Silicon Valley, but across America, that have foreign-born CEOs. You look at the tech revolution that started in the 1980s and through the 90s through now. An overwhelming number of those people, whether you're talking about Google or Yahoo or Uber, you can go down the list. Their founders all came from other countries to form these companies. And I've been saying this for 20, 30 years when people are, freaking out about immigrants coming to America and even immigrants that are getting, degrees. Would you rather them go back to New Delhi and start a business there, or would you rather them start it in North Carolina? Because that's the choice we have. It's why Tom Friedman always said, you get a PhD and it's somebody that's an immigrant, staple a green card to the back of that diploma and say, please stay here, work, start businesses, build our economy. That's what's happened. And the person who knows this the most, the guy who has this singular obsession with cats, first talking about childless cat ladies, now talking about the eating of cats. J.D. Vance knows better than anybody else the contributions immigrants have made to this country, the immeasurable contributions, because he worked with them for years in Silicon Valley and got rich doing it. And so he knows he's lying. He knows this is nonsense. He knows he's playing to the lowest common denominator. And he doesn't have to go back and look at Ronald Reagan farewell speeches to understand what makes America strong economically. He saw it for years in Silicon Valley.
They all know. Most of them know, Joe. Republican leaders, Trump family Instagram influencers, members of they know what they're saying. And they know that they are misleading people.